Hello and welcome to a brand new series of videos, Customer Question Time, with me, Lisa Conway.
And me, Steve Meredith.
Today we've got a cracking question from a conveyancer in Leeds. The conveyancer asks, my mining report has identified mine entries and it recommends I obtain a coal authority interpretive report, but how would this benefit my customer? Now this is a great question, Steve.
It is, Lisa. So what I've got an example for you here in the Leeds area of a property with 4 mine entries within reporting distance. So we'll look at the 2 boundaries we're required to digitise and also cover the individual risk assessments for each mine entry.
Now, the good thing about a coal authority's interpretive report is it's a comprehensive risk assessment on these mine entries that we're going to have a look at shortly. And we've got our own methods of calculating our zones of influence.
Yes, in this example, each mine entry has its own zone of influence, and by digitising the building footprint and the property boundary individually, we can then calculate whether the zones of influence for each mine entry intersect with either of these boundaries.
So let's now go and have a look at the results for this example that we've got.
So in this example here, we have a property in Leeds, which, as you can see, has 4 mine entries within reporting distance of it. I hope you can make out we've got the building footprint digitised yellow and the wider property boundary digitised red. Now, what our system does is it calculates a zone of influence for each individual mine entry and then ascertains whether that zone of influence intersects with any of the digitised boundaries. Now, in this example, it's essentially a best case scenario because although there's 4 mine entries within the reporting distance, none of the zones of influence intersect with either of the boundaries. So in an interpretive report for this property, you will get 4 individual risk assessments, 1 for each of the mine entries, all of which state that in the unlikely scenario that anything were to happen to this mine entry, both the building footprint and the wider property boundary would not be affected. This is essentially the scenario that interpretive reports were created for on the back of market research.
So we hope you found that interesting. Thank you so much for that question. If anyone has any other questions you'd like us to answer, you can email them in to customerservice@miningremediation.gov.uk, or you can give us a call on 0345 762 6848. Until next time, thank you.
Thank you.